What is up, YouTube? This is Lex here, and I am looking at a game today called Nation Red. You probably have not heard of it. It's an obscure Steam special type of game. It is a horde-based zombie shooter, but not. It's basically Vampire Survivors. It's basically Vampire Survivors, except 10 years before Vampire Survivors, and with guns instead of Castlevania weapons. It's got the escalating perk system, the survival based gameplay, the increasing amount of waves. I found this game quite addicting back when I discovered it around what must be 2010, maybe 2011. And, having only recently finally gotten around to playing Vampire Survivors, I can tell you that it's basically the same gameplay. Now, there are a bunch of different modes, but the core of the game is, you'll see what I mean, essentially Vampire Survivors. You start out, you're protecting an area. These security guns here are friendly, and I can recharge their ammo by standing near them. Now, after you kill a few enemies, you will receive a perk. And, these get more and more powerful the more of them you combine. Right? Until you become, quite frankly, a mobile death ball. You can have two weapons, and you can lock one weapon and hang on to a second, which is what I did here. I picked up the steam hammer and locked it. And then I'll switch and grab the Uzi and lock that. So that allows you to pick up a nice short-range weapon. I like the AA-12 shotgun. And a nice long-range weapon. I like the AK-47 for that. And it's got a lot of the same things that you would expect from, any horde-based game like this or Vampire Survivors. You've got power-ups are very powerful, and there's a non-meme skill or spec that involves pulling in power-ups to you so you can pick them up easier. You can create builds that chain together passive weapons that kind of make you a moving death turret, much like you are in Vampire Survivors, or you can focus on moves that are more active. Grab man at the moment. Right here I'm going for a build that is, I want the MP5. Yeah, we'll try it. I'm going for a bullet time based build where I maximize experience early and try to get as many power-ups as possible. Specifically the bullet time power-up, because there is a perk that gives you increased experience during bullet time, which I'm interested in grabbing if possible. Really nice mix of... So you can see there's a limited range on weapons, right? Like this particular gun has a pretty short range. There's a really nice mix of different styles of perks. There's even a melee style build you can try to play. And, much like Vampire Survivors, it doesn't seem like much at first, right? You're just like, okay, it's another top-down game where I'm shooting with zombies and it's got experience points, big deal. But, again, much like Vampire Survivors, when it starts to pick up, you will start creating insane combos of perks where you become just an extremely satisfying mobile death ball. I switched to the carbine here to try that out. I'm just looking for an AK, honestly. It's the one I like to stick with. Ghost gives you a little clone that walks around shooting, and you can upgrade over time the clone's weapons. In fact, here's an example. Yeah, this gives the clones shotguns, and then there's more and more. I'm going to take the power-up extender. Power-ups are super good in this. When you get later on in the game, you'll pretty much be living off of power-ups. You'll just be chaining power-up to stay alive. There are boss enemies, which we haven't seen too many of. Quite frankly, they just don't come out early. We've seen a few. They'll always have a red name. They'll be easily identifiable. The melee ones aren't that dangerous. They are insane bullet sponges, but they're not a huge problem. The ranged two, there's a machine gun and a minigun one, can be horrible depending on their position. Oh, the no reload is an excellent upgrade. We'll go with accuracy. There's a machine gun boss right there. You really want to focus them, if possible, when they come out. This guy shoots short bursts of a machine gun. The other minigun guy shoots very long bursts and with long sweeps, but he doesn't target you as intelligently. You can hold up to 15 grenades. Grenades, let's see, I'm going to stop shooting. Yeah, grenades just detonate at your feet whenever you right click, so they're super easy to use. I normally don't use my grenades. I'll take the auto experience because I like focusing on experience. I save my grenades because there's a perk that gives you an armor point for each grenade you're holding called Hoarder, and that comes out to 15% armor, and you combine that with the 25% armor perk for quite a bit of protection. That also gives you the option of when something goes badly wrong, you can drop up to 15 grenades on yourself by just right clicking, right? So this is a good one. I generally go for the experience perks extremely early, as well as the power-up perks, because there is a bonus. There's a perk that gives you experience during power-ups. I really wish we had power-up hook right now. That's the one that sucks power-ups into you. Brawlers just have a ton of HP. They're melee, but they have a ton of HP. I need to find an AK. Yeah, during bullet time, get faster reload and more XP. That's what I'm going for. I probably should have gotten Messy. Messy's like one of the best perks. 10% damage and 10% experience and 10% something else. Okay, now we got our AK. The soundtrack is, you know, what you'd expect for a hype up game like this. Overall, I think it works pretty well at doing what it needs to do. I like it. They have an option to rotate the soundtrack on random, which is really nice because otherwise we get super, you know, repetitive. I will say that some of the perks are really poorly balanced. That's for sure. I don't think we can kill that guy during our extra experience. So yeah, there is definitely strategy other than just staying alive. The way you time the usage of power-ups lets you get a lot more experience. So sometimes I try to set things up so that I can, you know, like I'll wait to kill a boss to get, so the bullet time I get afterwards gives me a better opportunity to get more experience, for example. Yeah, we definitely need more ammo. I'm feeling the lack of ammo right now. Now, because we have a shield, we can just ignore all damage. It's probably the best power-up. Oh, okay, so I guess we failed because a zombie got by. I didn't even realize this map had that. Most of these are just straight survivals. So, but that's good. You know, this video doesn't need to run on forever. You see what's going on here. It's a fun game. I enjoy, as you can see, the survival mode. So yeah, I recommend it. Pick it up for a few bucks on a Steam sale. If you like games like Vampire Survivors with escalating perk trees where you turn into a mobile death ball. Thanks for joining us. See you guys on the next one.